Today in this session, we'll be talking about cloud computing paradigms. So, the process of utilizing the computer technology to complete a task is called computing. The cloud computing paradigm realizes and promotes the delivery of hardware and software resources over the internet according to an on-demand utility-based model. Computer systems are highly reliable, scalable, and available. Over the years, different computing paradigms have been developed and used. Some of the examples are distributed computing, cluster computing, grid computing, utility computing. So, distributed computing. Distributed computing is defined as a type of computing where multiple computer systems are used to solve a single problem. They distribute the task of a whole computer. It is the collection of separate and independent software and hardware components called nodes that are networked together to fulfill an end goal. In distributed cloud computing, the work of or the problem is split into smaller tasks and are executed on multiple machines. Distributed computing increases the efficiency and performance of the computer system and also ensure fault tolerance. In this type of computing, the process have its own local memory and all processes communicate with each other over the internet. Depending on the system requirement, nodes could have been highly structured, unstructured, but the complexity are hidden uh, to the end user, making the whole system appear a single computer to its user. So the characteristics of a distributed system. No shared clock. The logic clock is achieved by coordination and synchronization. No shared memory as the state is distributed throughout the system. Concurrency. Concurrency hide that an object may have shared database. Heterogeneity and loose coupling not required. Heterogeneity refers to the system ability to operate on various hardware and software components. Functions of distributed computing. Resource sharing. This makes it easier for users to access the remote resources and to share them with other users in controlled manner. 2. Openness. This is a type of system that offers service in standard that describable and syntax are semantics of those services intents. Standard rules is in computer network controls, the format, content, and meaning of message sent and received. Scalability. According to the need, the machine or the system can expand or reduce in size. Concurrency refer to the ability of several machines to process the same function simultaneously. Fault tolerance, the ability of system to quickly identify and rectify fault across the system while concurrently maintain the system. Applications, World Wide Web, banking system, grid computing. So, grid computing is a subset of distributed computing where a virtual supercomputer comprises machines on a network connected by some bus, mostly Ethernet or some Internet. This involves connecting geographically remote computers into a single network to create a virtual supercomputer by combining the computational power of all the computers on it. In this, many computers work together to perform a single task that would rather be difficult for a single machine. Every computer can access the resource of every other computer belonging to the network. They perform large tasks such as analyzing huge sets of data or weather modeling. This type of computing increases the efficiency and the minimize the wasted resources and the processing time is reduced by splitting the task among multiple machines. So, walking up grid computing. In general, a grid computing requires at least one computer as a server that handles all administrative duties for the system. A network of computers running specially grid computing network software. A collection of computer software middleware. Types of grid: computational grid, scavenging, scavenging grid, data grid. Advantages of grid computing. It is not centralized, no servers are required, multiple heterogeneous machines can use a single grid computing environment. Tasks can be performed parallelly, less time. As multiple computers are running parallelly, it takes less time to complete the task. Better use makes better use of already existing hardware. Easy collaboration, they are useful in combining with the other organizations. Disadvantages of grid computing. Non-interactive in case of scheme where it need different subject matter experts to complete, they tend to work separately without any direct interaction with each other. Initiates learning curve, involves software. Cluster computing. A cluster computing is a group of independent homogeneous computers that work together to perform the given task. This is a technique of linking two or more computers into a network in order to take advantage of parallel processing powers of those computers. Some of the applications are Google search engine, earthquake simulation, etc. Types of cluster computing, load balancing cluster, they distribute the workload, high availability cluster, they perform redundant operations, high performance cluster, solve advanced computational problems. Advantages, cost efficiency much cheaper than other computing, processing speeder, same as the mainframe computers, expandability, it can be easily expanded, high availability of resources. If one node fails, other node takes up the task. Disadvantages, difficulty to manage and organize a large number of computers, poor performance in the case of non-parallelizable applications, increased power consumption compared to a single server. Applications, Google search engine, earthquake simulation software, image processing, weather forecasting. Utility computing. Utility computing, this is a service providing model in which a service provider makes computing resources and infrastructure management available to the customer as needed and changes them for a specific usage rather than a flat rate. This types of model maximizes the efficiency use of resources or minimize the associated costs. This type of computing play an important role in the field of business. For any advice required for the deployment in the business model, the service provider will offer the unit division to the company. Therefore, this model is the basic requirement of software of a business model. This IT service could be related to software applications, customer storage, and computing power. In utility computing, there is a provider who will own the storage or power resources, and here the customers is charged based on how much they make use of the services. Steps to be followed with the implementation. Determine the need. Assessing the internal organizational needs and the combination of service and resources required. Evaluate the service provider's claims. Evaluate if the solution aligns with our goals and missions. Assess the health of computing resources. Identify the failures in the network, storage, and application resources. Identify the resource provisioning requirements. The provisioning interface must be resource command line interface. Map out of time frame. Advantages. The customers doesn't have to buy the software, hardware, or license that are required for the business. The company has the liberty to subscribe to a single service and use the same software suite throughout the entire organization. It is also compatible with ECC, especially needed in large companies that has many departments. Disadvantages, reliability, the system could be targeted by hackers. Cloud computing. This is a method of utilizing on-demand computer servers over the internet. There is no need to maintain a physical server. Instead, service provider provides users with the necessary storage, data-based cloud computing services. Infrastructure as a service. In this, they provide IT infrastructures, servers and virtual machines, storage networks, operating systems from a cloud provider on a pay-as-you-go basis, platform as a service. They provide on-demand environment for developing, delivering, and managing software applications. Software as a service, they offer both the business and the consumer cloud-based tools and applications for everyday use. Types of cloud. Public cloud, owned and operated by third-party cloud service providers. Private cloud, owned and operated by a single business or organization. Hybrid cloud, combination of both public and private cloud. Advantages of cloud computing, cost saving, security, flexibility, disaster recovery, and loss prevention. Okay. This is the end of the session. I hope you all understand. Thank you.